No puppies with me today. Got a few appointments to do for my wife. I've just taken the day off. She's been lucky to get like a few in together. So we're down in Parramatta. I figured I'd still get some exercise in. Because I need it. Bit of a walk along the river. There's a lot of people doing it. A lot of people exercising along the river. I think I've seen the same lady 3 times. She's just doing laps, I think, like between the bridges. Yes, it's a nice way to spend the morning. A lot of people. That was my other reason for needing the walk. Public toilet down the other end. They've got that, one of those automatic or futuristic toilets that I remember doing a video on. First time I've ever seen one of those was like in Mudgee a decade ago. I thought it was amazing. Now there's a couple of them around. Basement car park in Blacktown, never knew existed. I'm on Bandicoot level. Bandicoot, bat, goanna, wombat, the ground floor. So I'm four stories underground. I never knew this place existed. Mind you, I never come to look at Blacktown, so the parking's underneath this. I just came up an elevator over there. There's another elevator over there. Thursday, and as with most school events, we run them on a Thursday, or at school events. Most evening events are run on a Wednesday, so it's always the same type of day. But I digress. It's Thursday and Father's Day is this weekend. We historically have run a thing called the Big All Blokes Breakfast at our school, inviting significant male members of the family, whether it's father, grandfather, uncle, stepfather, whatever, to come in and enjoy a morning of games, activities, breakfast, that sort of thing. And it's kind of grown over the years. This year has grown. They've got carnival rides come in. They came in and set up last night. I'm assuming they're from the same companies that do the agricultural shows that go around, because the Penrith show was just on last week. Dodgem cars, a Ferris wheel, super slide. They're the ones I can remember from the map. And they were setting up in the front car park yesterday afternoon after school, so that they had a nice solid ground to sit on. And in previous years we've run our go-karts, our push carts, around the basketball courts on a little course. This year I've been told I've got the full court, so it'd be good to try and make a bigger track, which reminds me I need to stop at Bunnings to see if they've got sidewalk chalk to supplement the little bit of stuff I had at school. My middle class over the last few lessons repaired the go-karts, because last year go-karts got finished after they got stacked. One of them, the steering got bent, and the other one, they ran into one of the fence poles or something and bent the brake bar, permanently stopping the go-kart. So we got those fixed. We checked the tyres, got all the tyres pumped up. I've got the little portable compressor. It's ready to be able to take out to the course in case the tyres do go down a little bit during the day. have to ask PE for a stopwatch again, because we got 2 carts. I'm being helped out by one of the life ed teachers who was actually a maths teacher at our school before leaving and then coming back. And before she left, she taught engineering for me because she's an electrical engineer before she became a teacher. So she's joining me for the go-karts. She knows the ins and outs of the go-karts because she worked around them with the engineering class. Should be an interesting and eventful day. While it doesn't look that great sky-wise, it's meant to be dry and 25 today. Coolish morning, but not too cold because of the cloud cover. I don't believe there's any rain forecast until the weekend. The go-karts are undercover anyway. Some of my other staff, my computing staff, are going to run a table with the Lego Mindstorm robots for the kids to play with. There's like a photo booth, there's an art and crafts table by Kappa, various games by PE. I think they've got a climbing wall, which they've had each year. Tractor rides and animal displays by the Science and Ag department. Barbecue, obviously, some other food stalls, but it's really turned into a carnival style setup, so I hope it really goes off well. It'll start around 8:30, 9 o'clock. Actually, the kids still go to normal rock hall, then we have an assembly, then we go out. By lunchtime, 1:30, which is when we normally end the school day on a Thursday, that's when the event day will end as well. And like I said, we run all our event days like this: the cross-country Harmony Day, Multicultural Day, NAIDOC Day. We run all these sorts of days on our short day, which has a benefit and a minus. Benefit: short day, we get to dismiss the kids early, but it's the normal time. But the minus is you lose the same class every time. And I have double year 12 construction first 2 periods on this day. Some year 12 teachers really complain that we're losing a third of our class every time we do this because there's only 6 periods in a cycle for year 12 and you're losing 2, which is a fair call. Some have said, can you not make year 12 on Thursday next year? It's a big ask, but it's possible. I'm really starting to ramble, I think. And I've rattled myself because I've driven past Bunnings. I'll have to go to the one down near work. A little out of the way, but still on the way. Getting slightly emptier by the day. That's gone to the trade school, the cabinet was there. That's gone in next door. That's still got to go in next door. Oh, that's got to go in next door. The table's going to go outside once the roof's on the carport, which is now bolted to the ground. We just got that in place and bolted so that it kind of lines up at the end of this concrete. And I wasn't so fussed that it didn't come over this fence because this fence is coming out. But I got the security fencing put up along here because our new fence will go just inside this concrete, across to the fence and across to the building. And we'll end up putting the double gates that are here, right there. Job for another day. Getting a morning walk in. I left work early yesterday to try and get home to take them for a walk at my wife's bequest. I started to get really tired driving home. This hasn't happened in ages. Almost dozing off, starting to swerve a little. I got to the point where I pulled over just at the base of the mountains. Message saying I'm taking a power nap. Now, I've set an alarm for 25 minutes. Put my chair back, my seat back, closed my eyes, but I don't think I actually dozed off. I'm not really sure. When the alarm went off, I sat up, turned it off, lay back, and then I fell asleep for 50 minutes. And I just woke up on my own, like, felt refreshed, sat up, started the car, drove home. But by that stage, like, I was getting home. I think I got home at 6:15. So too late to walk them, just in time to feed them. Getting a bit of a walk in this morning before I start doing stuff. I need to go to the post office because apparently there's parcels there. I also really need to go to Bunnings because I forgot to stop at Bunnings because I was driving so tired, to get some more nails from a nail gun so that when I get these boards finished I can actually put the floor down. I might head up to Katoomba Bunnings, take some stuff to the tip as well. What's doing over? Been exploring with Pat. Eh? Big hill? Oh no. Right. So I got all of these finally planed down. They're fairly thin, and unfortunately I found a lot more nails as we were going, so I got nicks in my blades again. It's just going to require some sanding. I used the jointer jig that I've seen other people doing to get this edge on all the boards jointed straight, and now I'm setting this up to 90 to try and get the best number of boards I can. I know I'm not going to get full boards just because of this sort of thing where it's blown out where the tongues were torn or where there was a knot. That's been the biggest thing. Going thinner has blown out at a lot of the knots and the end of the boards. Not just this sort of thing. That can be filled, but if you didn't have to, it would have been nicer. Anyway, I'm going to run these all through, get them to 90. That means they'll be ready to go upstairs. I cut my underlay to length last night, but I haven't actually laid it down yet. I've had it laying out flat to try and just get it to flatten out, but I haven't stuck anything down because there's like a tape along the side and then a clear section of plastic that folds out from one side of the other one, and the tape goes back down from the next one on that. And that's one way of it being a vapor barrier. So it's got this clear plastic underneath it all. But the third one needs to be cut down to width as well. So once I've cut all these, I will then go up and lay that stuff down. I'm going to have to take my little drop saw upstairs maybe for cutting these out on the deck because I don't want the dust in the room, and start laying the boards down. Have the little compressor with a nail gun up there. I bought nails at Bunnings. Actually, I bought nails at Bunnings and Mitre 10. At Bunnings, they only had 32 mil in a full pack. But they had like a multi-pack, and there's like 1,000 25mm in there. That's what I'm figuring I'm needing. This is 5mm plus the 2mm underlay, 19mm subfloor, so they shouldn't punch through the bottom. But then there's like a Katoomba Mitre 10 is right across the road from Bunnings, literally. So as I was driving away from Bunnings, I went, look, I'm just going to pull into Mitre 10, and they had the pass load ones. C1 Brads, 25mm, and what's the other size I bought? Oh, I bought C Brads as well for my bigger gun. I'll test them out down here in the boards before I go upstairs and see which one. I think the C one's probably going to be better because these are thin, less likely to split the board. They're 18 gauge. The C Brad is a 16 gauge, a little bit thicker, bigger head. Anyway, get on with it. Well, it seems like this was a colossal waste of time and energy, because every time I try to fire a nail into this stuff, and I'm glad I did the tests down here, it just splits the crap out of it. So we're back on the websites looking at hybrid flooring, trying to find something that might work, and look at what happened to this one. Firing a nail around the middle's not so bad. Fire it down the end. I haven't tried just hand hammering a nail and it split it. So, that with these, just look how tiny these nails are. And it split it. Right. I'm not gonna lie, I feel really deflated about this process. I guess I'm pleased that I got the floor leveling sorted with a good strong subfloor. That I feel really good about, because that is really going to be tight, and it's what that room really needs, probably what the whole house really needs. But I guess I was excited about reusing the floor just because I like to reuse stuff, reclaim stuff and everything like that. As we were looking through all these different flooring places and going like, this stuff is splitting, it's not going to work. I think if we didn't have the underlay down for the sound deadening, and you were just going to glue that stuff down to the subfloor, it would have worked. It could have been good. Gluing, not nailing anything. But that's not what we were doing. We want that sound insulation underlay, because the sound carrying through in 2-story buildings is just, it's so annoying. Having lived in this house for years, but also having lived in a unit in Parramatta many years ago, and the upstairs people had timber or laminate flooring down, and you could hear everything on that floor, and we had concrete in between our floors, like the ceiling was concrete. So anyway, we were looking at all these different places. My head suddenly went, Beaumont Tiles does like laminate flooring as well, and we looked them up, and my wife found one that she I liked it, went, that's light, I like that, bring them up, not realising that Beaumont Tiles, their stores are just showrooms. You order your stuff from they order it from their warehouse, it comes in. So we would have been waiting till midweek. And I was kind of thinking, well, all right, I could pick it up in the middle of the week and do it that way, but my wife wants this floor done. I want this floor done because the house is just in chaos. You know, having to walk through teeny tiny spaces in between furniture and everything else that's just stacked everywhere, and your clothes are all over the place. When they said that it could only be ordered, my wife goes, look, this is annoying. Can you go and build that timber shelf thing out of the other shelf that I dismantled to go on top of her other dresser? And so I went down, I retook the measurements, I went down, I started getting all that stuff out of the shed. And then she called me on my phone, answered on my watch, and she said, I know you probably started, but if you haven't started, or if you have, can you stop? Because there is a flooring that, remember I said if I was going to have a brownish colour floor, this one I would like. I could live with. Bunnings in Penrith have it in stock. So I'm driving to Penrith. Going to get 4 boxes of these hybrid flooring, the ones that you just sort of click together. They're wider boards too, which she likes the look of. I like the look of as well, but the ones that I was doing were only going to come out at 90 wide, so it was going to be like 30 boards across the room. These ones that I'm going to get are 225 mil, 8.5, 9 inches wide. Been driving and it's now 12 minutes to 3. So I'll get them, come back and just try and lay the floor. Because if once I lay the floor, we'll probably get some of the furniture in and start moving on stuff. I've still got to patch the wall, but it'd be easier to do that, I guess, after the flooring's in. done. Should have just done this from the start.